Nation.
Let's go. Thursday. Feels like a Friday.
It does. It is for me.
Oh, maybe that's why. Shit, I got to figure out what I'm doing tomorrow.
Welcome to DNVR Buffs Prime Time. We are presented by Game Time. Guys, download the Game Time app. Use that promo code BUFFS, BUFFS, and get $20 off your first purchase. And the legend joins us again. Welcome back, Mac.
Happy Thursday, everybody. How we doing?
I can't complain.
Ryan, can you complain?
I actually can't.
You can't?
I said
good.
this on the Broncos podcast earlier today, but I've been like 20% under the weather for like a month. Today's the first day that I feel like I'm not quite 100, but I think I'm at like 95.
Vibes are up, bro.
Yeah.
That's a
back.
good thing.
Yeah.
Vibes are up.
Feels good.
On the comeback trail, that's a good thing.
Yep.
Nice little bye-week rehab.
Exactly.
Good for you, RK.
Exactly. I'm just like the Buffs, you know. I'm in the cold tub and all that stuff, just trying to get my body back.
We double up everything this week.
Yep.
All right, we're going to do our midseason wish list. There's a lot of things that we want to change and a lot of things that we hope we see, so let's get into them. Do you want to start?
I will start, sure. This is the easiest one to me. Better protection for Shedeur. That is, if I could pick anything to change in the second half of the season, that's what I would change. And it's not even it's a little bit selfish because the truth is, if you were to improve, let's just say, the defense, it might actually help you win games more. Mm-hmm. But I want to see what Shedeur looks like for a whole game with a clean pocket.
With the elite protection?
Yes,
Yeah.
because you look around the country and you see like Penix just
Killing it.
They're just, that offensive line just stonewalls Oregon, and then he just dices them up. And then you know, I talked about this yesterday, but you see the flip side. You see Caleb Williams when he has to deal with what Shedeur has to deal in, game out.
And he was awful.
He was lost.
Absolutely awful. Head was spinning.
And so Shedeur is on pace for somewhere in the ballpark of 4,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions.
Yeah, that'll work.
Under the current circumstances. I want to know what he looks like when he plays with the clean pocket. So if anything I want to see, that is what I want to see. I would just die if we got to see that.
Well, that would be pretty fantastic. Look, just piggybacking off of that, you're talking about Washington's offensive line and how elite they are, and they are. The Rosengarten kid, the right tackle.
Yep.
He's from Valor. You know, they brought in Zach Henning last year from Grandview. So, yes, having the scheme is important, but you got to have the dudes. And I don't know if Colorado has the dudes up front right now. I just don't think that the offensive line is going to be. I don't think that they are elite from a player perspective, but I do think that's changing because the transfer portal opens December 4th. So there's going to be some really big names coming to Boulder and great high school players. So the offensive line will get fortified, but I agree with RK. That would be one hell of a wish.
You know what's interesting, though, is that if you go I hate that we're talking about this so much the last couple of days, but if you go back and watch the TCU game, they schemed protection a lot in that game.
Yep.
They did.
And that's something that's been lacking.
The lack of change, the lack of being able to walk off the field and sit down and be like, hey, this is what they're doing and this is how we need to adjust. I agree with you 1,000% that it has been lacking. I think and I can't figure it out because I know, look, Coach O'Boyle is one of the best in the business. He's an unbelievably good offensive line coach. So are the players hearing the message and then not being able to take it to the field and actually do what they're being asked? Is that because that's the only thing I can come up with? There's absolutely no way in God's green earth, all right, that OB is sitting up there like dumbfounded about what to do about Mike Will cross dogs and pirate blitzing and things of that nature. A lot of these screw-ups are so fixable.
Totally. And so, you know, I specifically remember a play where they actually had Tank pull from left tackle.
Like an insert block.
Yes, to block an interior pass rusher to give Shedeur more time. I'd love to see Shedeur get up to the line, see that a blitz is coming, you know, from the right side, motion Hankerson up, you know, right behind the line to just give him an extra second and let Travis go, you know, run a route and give Shedeur time to find him. So, like, I realize that, I don't know, 90% of offensive line play just comes down to having the dudes.
But scheme can really help. You're talking about like a reverse pop with tanks. So if they, you have an open side where two guys are blocking two outside and they mug it, and now tank's the one popping instead of the guard. I mean, that tells me that they are sitting around trying to scheme up ways to be creative and protect. But at the same time, like the quarterback adage, you got two, you don't have one. Well, if you have to really scheme protection, and we can't just walk up and say 60-70, 4 down Mike, 4 down Will, our 5 are better than your 5. If we need to max protect, we'll keep a back end or a tight end, and we'll go 6-man pro, and we'll do chips and things of that nature. But really, in actuality, it doesn't matter if they know what we're doing because we're better than you. Colorado can't do that right now.
Yeah.
And look, a lot of it, I'm going to take this back to right when Coach Prime got the job, but losing Casey Roddick, that hurt. Because he's starting right now for Florida State. They are killing it, and he's a second-round grade professional. So I think if you had him at left guard with all the crap he had to eat up to this point, that's the kind of guy that they're going to bring in the transfer portal, to bring in guys that are professional football players in the trench to match the professional football players they have at the skill positions all over the field. When that happens, it's over.
Yep.
Are you the same thing? Was that yours, better protection?
Well, no. My wish list is if I get one wish, we need to find a 3 technique bad. Like I played 3 technique at that place, and the year before me was Tyler Brayton, and the year before that was Justin Bannon, and the year before that is Jesse Warren, and the year before that is Joel Steed, and they got there's dudes everywhere. Like after that was Hippolyte.
Is that available on this current team?
No,
we're looking for
not.
What do we want to see happen in the second half of the season?
My wish is they find somebody to play 3 technique and rush the passer. If that means they've got to find a defensive end that has some balls to walk down on 3rd down and put him at 3 technique, and understand that he's isolated one-on-one and the inside move is open. I don't know how many times I've seen them slide protection away from a 3 technique on this team, and that guy runs straight into the guard and doesn't take the inside move. There's no face pressure on the quarterback. It's driving me up a goddamn wall. So, in my opinion, if you NASCAR this and you start taking defensive ends and putting them at 3 technique, which is what I did, that was the growth. I was a D end, and then I'm a 3 technique. It's going to teach him, number one, how to just abuse a guard that he's a better athlete than. So I want Coach Williams and Coach Sal to sit down and figure out how we can get more athletes on the interior to rush the passer instead of these big dudes. So if we have multiple defensive end, outside linebacker guys that can rush the passer, which I think we do, I think that's one place where we might have some guys that we could put 4 of them on the field and 2 of them don't have to play nose tackle or 3 technique on 1st and 2nd down.
Yeah.
So when you get in obvious passing situations, we have the personnel to do it. I need the coaches to have a little bit more creativity in how they get to that spot. Take 49 and put him at 3 technique. Take 9 and put him at McKinnon and put him
what about
at
Savell Smalls?
at 3 technique.
He wasn't dressed last weekend.
Yeah, so I noticed that.
Yeah.
Is that injury related?
I'd assume so. I don't know though.
Okay.
Yeah, so look, the ability to understand that you're one-on-one too is another thing that I wish for. Like, do you really know what you're looking at, guys? Because the 3 technique, whether it's Cooks or whoever's playing 3 up there on any given day, you should be so angry that I'm saying this about you.
Speaking of, King Mars in the comments asked what's a 3 technique. So
it's a big gap defensive lineman at the point of attack and an over-under front. So
you just made it more complicated.
It's the defensive player that lines up on the outside shoulder of the guard.
Yeah, like Dexter Manley couldn't read. He played for 15 years. So again, there's 2 A gaps, there's 2 B gaps, there's 2 C gaps, and there's 2 D gaps. They expand from the center. The B gap defensive lineman that's over the guard at the point of attack on the strong side to the tight end or the strength, that's the 3 technique.
It's basically like someone just asked you a question in English and you answered it in Spanish.
Well, I muy bueno.
Could we just say where Aaron Donald plays a lot?
Well, yeah, wherever
it's
Aaron Donald goes, that's the
lineman.
It's John Randall, bro.
Not a nose tackle.
Not the A gap player, the B gap player.
All right.
A, B, C.
There we go.
There you go.
My initial wish is similar to Ryan's, and it's Shedeur's not the most sacked quarterback in the country at the end of the year. He's I guess the word is ahead. He's 6 ahead of the next one.
How much is his fault? I thought he holds the ball.
I mean, he does hold the ball a little bit, but I mean, he's under relentless pressure
Yeah, that's his
sometimes right
job to
after
hold the
he
ball,
drops
too.
back.
Well, and
I just hate that argument.
a lot of these times it's like third down.
Yeah.
So he's trying to make a play. Like he takes a sack because
Can't throw it away on third down.
Right. They're bringing a double A gap blitz on third down, and there's the first read isn't open, so he's trying to make a play in the backfield. And he takes a
Let's
sack.
be real here. A good offensive football team, good offensive coordinator, a great quarterback, which I think we have a great offensive coordinator, head coach in Lewis. I think we have an unbelievably good quarterback in Shedeur. Our offensive line is not very good. They try hard, but they're not very good. Let's just be real. They are struggling. We want people to blitz us if we can pick it up. Like, I want people to try and heat us up because then we can actually go up, slow everything down. They have plenty of time at the line of scrimmage. Very rarely do they get delay calls. And just walk up there and try and dictate to the defense when they're trying to dictate to you. But the offensive line, not only are they struggling with the technique part of this, but they are struggling immensely when people move on us. When they stem the defensive front from, an over front to an under front before the ball snapped or things of that nature, we tend to panic and miss blocking assignments. So it doesn't give me a lot of faith that they're going to be able to slow everything down, listen to Shedeur make a new call, and then do it and pick everything up. It's almost like we have to have predetermined pass protections to a defense that can change, and I don't know if that works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we sneak this in? Do I go again?
Sure.
Yeah, go.
Okay.
You can have more than one wish.
My
Jake.
next
Whatever
wish.
you want.
We're all going to get 3. So
I get 3 wishes?
you get 3 wishes.
Nice.
Genie.
Like a genie lamp. This is fantastic.
My next wish is a 100-yard rusher at running back.
Wow.
Anyone. I'd prefer Alton McCaskill, but
Oh.
anyone.
You're so you're with the chat on Alto.
I thought he looked fine. How did you think Alto looked last weekend?
Man, I don't know. We can't run the football. So, again, the offensive line doesn't get movement. When you're getting hit at the line of scrimmage and we can't displace, I think if he has any space, he's going to be fantastic, just like Edwards would be. I think, Smoke would be awesome. I don't think the backs are the problem. I think the offensive line is the problem.
Fair enough. Alto or Hank, though, I don't care. Shoot, even throw Dylan in there. Just give me a
They've got a
100-yard rusher
plethora
at
of
running back.
backs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to see Charlie go off for a hunt.
That'd be sick.
That'd be I don't even know if that'd be an upset at this point. Any 100-yard back I'll take.
Yeah. I'll take anyone as well. I just think personally that Hank is running harder than Alto.
I mean, he's gotten more work for sure.
Yeah, and I just I don't know. I don't know if it's just that his explosion hasn't quite come back yet. I don't know if his confidence isn't quite there in his cutting. But I haven't seen a moment where I was like, oh, that's the Alto we saw on film. Yeah, now he hasn't had enough opportunities.
Right.
So I'm in line to see him get more. But I just think there's this weird thing going on where Hank is getting no respect.
Oh, he hasn't gotten respect since Coach Prime was hired.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure that he gets the respect that
That
he
kid
deserves
runs
because
so
he's
hard.
he's running the hardest of anyone.
Yep.
He runs his ass off. I
Yeah.
love how he always looks for contact, how physical he is. That's what you want from your back, especially in Boulder, man. We're used to having smash mouth running backs that look for contact.
Yep.
Your second wish, Matt.
All right, so second wish for me is the ability for the staff to identify in the secondary who's actually going to be our 4 or 5 guys, okay? So Coach Prime is obviously the best corner that's ever played the game, maybe the best athlete I've ever seen. I have a hard time fathoming how Stoudemire can backtalk him on the sideline, and the DB coach isn't up there ripping Stoudemire's ass. Stoudemire, whatever, ripping his ass. Why does Coach Prime have to do that on the sideline? So Cooper, why isn't he playing? Why isn't Cremani playing? Like, Travis has got every rep on the field. We understand how special he is, but
Cooper is playing.
I'm just going to be real. He got
He got
toasted
benched,
the other
so-
night.
Yeah.
So, Cooper's obviously playing, but he did get benched the other night, right? So, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I understand the kid plays. I would love to figure out my wish is this secondary is stacked with guys that I think can really play. Can we find 5 of them who can do that consistently so we can get some chemistry and continuity in the secondary, which, in my opinion, other than the offensive line, is where unspoken communication needs to happen more than anywhere. You got to know how to rotate. You got to know what everybody's doing. Everybody on the field needs to know every position, other than like Shiloh and Travis, obviously. And Travis is, again, got absolutely toasted last week. And I'm not sitting here saying something that isn't true. So if I can't constructively criticize, then that's a problem because I bleed black and gold. So I know that he wants to get better off of that. If we can't find somebody to spell 12 every now and then, and he has to play 150 snaps, he's going to give up stuff like this, especially to a great player. The kid from Stanford really impressed the hell out of me in the second half the other night. So I wish that they could find 5, maybe 6 guys that can actually do the job, because I do think they're extremely talented, but there's something going on in the secondary room on, why certain guys aren't playing, who's getting benched, and how the communication and all that is happening.
Your second wish, Ryan.
You guys touched on 2 for me. Really quick, someone said, how many yards per carry for Hankerson? I mean, no one has a good yards per carry average on this team.
It's because the offensive line can't move anybody.
But Dylan Edwards is averaging 4.6. That leads the team. Hank is right behind him at 4.3. Alton's at 3.8.
Well, 4.6 and 4.3 is good.
It's good enough.
It's
with
okay.
enough volume.
Yeah.
But look, again, everyone, I'm going to reiterate this. We could have Ricky Williams in the backfield at Texas. If the offensive line can't move anyone and we can't separate and get a yard of separation for the back to hit the line of scrimmage without getting contacted, we're never going to break runs, ever. And that's a fact. The offensive line, the fullbacks, and the tight ends have got to do a way better job.
Just for what it's worth, I just don't think there's ever going to be a world where Travis doesn't play every snap.
No,
and I think that's okay. But
I don't like what I saw the other night.
It's first game back from injury, though.
Yeah. I think,
guys, there's reasons and excuses, and I'm disagreeing.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's smart to play him every single snap of every single game. He was incredibly efficient on offense. He was incredibly inefficient on defense. And that's not a debate, really.
At the end of the game.
Oh, my God. The end of the game is where we blew a 29-point lead and gave up a 98-yard touchdown, and he got beat consistently because he has to play every single snap. All I'm saying is we need to find somebody else that can rotate in and maybe give him a break. That's all, because he's a target, too. Everybody knows he plays every snap. So they're going to target him and go after him. Again, look.
That will end poorly for them.
Well, it didn't end poorly for them on Saturday, though, Ryan.
And we're talking about one game, the first game back from injury.
I understand, and I'm also saying that there's reasons and excuses, and it sounds like an excuse to me.
Okay.
And I think we can fix it by actually being honest about it. And I need to find guys that can help spell Travis and maybe give him a break, or find a way to rotate coverage so you can't just identify where he's at all the time. Get more creative with your tools. If the tools can do the job, that's my wish list, was find more guys that can help 12, not just rely on 12 to do everything, because I don't care who you are. The other night was an indication that maybe we should change the way we're looking at the problem, not necessarily take them off the field, but why just line them up in the same place over and over and over and over and over again?
My counter to that would just be that it wasn't a problem in the first 2 games of the year.
It
was actually
I agree
a
it wasn't
positive.
a problem, and yeah, it was a positive. And then, but this is the 6th game?
But he didn't play in
We're
any
going
of the
into
games in between those.
8th game.
Okay, but again, look, and I'm just going to say this because this is something that's happening now in Colorado land that I don't really understand. For some reason, nobody can be criticized on this team.
This isn't a criticism. This is just you and I having a conversation about whether or not.
And I'm giving you my 2 cents on it.
Yeah.
So, for some reason in Boulder, if you criticize anyone or at any time, all of a sudden you're not a good Buff anymore. And I don't think that you can actually get better until you constructively criticize and everybody looks at themselves in the mirror and actually figures out what's going on. All I'm saying is Travis Hunter is an unbelievably elite talent. I don't know how many times on this show I've said maybe the best player in the world, and I believe that. But he is really young, and he's experience is something that he's learning on a day-to-day, rep-to-rep basis. He's a mid-season All-American for a reason. Everyone knows he's special. But to act like the other night didn't happen, then I can act like the first 2 weeks didn't happen too. For every good thing that the young man does, and he gains experience and all the hype that goes with that, which is warranted, that's great. But we can't act like everything that happened the other night is not something that can be extremely positive as well. Because I constantly talk about on this show and every show I do, every day at the gym, are you losing or are you learning? And to ignore the fact that it happened the other night, or to say that, oh, well, he's back after injury or yada, yada, yada. He didn't look like he struggled at all back after injury on offense whatsoever. So I'm not going to use that same mindset with him struggling on defense. The other guy's really good. Travis got exposed. Are we learning from this situation, or are we losing and pointing fingers and acting like it can't be fixed? I'm being hard on the kid because I think he could be the number one pick in the draft. He's a generational talent, and he can handle it, period. He wants to be coached hard. That's why he went to CU with Coach Deion Sanders primetime, period. So, again, tough love is still love, and 12 is elite. And I guarantee you he's more upset with his performance than any of us could ever be. That's all I'm saying.
No, and I don't disagree with the fact that he didn't look like himself at the end of the game. And I think everyone who's ever watched Travis Hunter plays knows that. I'm just saying there's no practice, there's no ramp up that can prepare you for the fourth hour of a college football game. And so in the fourth hour of the college football game, he wasn't himself. I think as the season progresses and he gets back into game shape, you will see him being the one who's in the best shape of anyone out there at the end of the game, not the one who is looking gassed.
Yeah, I don't really think he got beat the other night because he was tired, though.
Why do you think he got beat?
Well, on the play where he got beat when the guy grabbed the ball over his head, it's because his technique was terrible.
Why do you think his technique was bad?
Well, because he's young and inexperienced, and he thinks he's an incredibly good player, and sometimes incredibly good players can get away with things that guys who have to play with incredibly good technique don't have to get away with. So again, you're saying like he was tired, and I don't think he was tired necessarily. Everybody was tired. He's going to be more fatigued than the next guy because he's playing literally every snap on the field. No one's saying he's not fatigued. I'm just saying if he presses the guy correctly and uses his hands and runs his hip and looks back for the ball, or high points it when the receiver turns to go get it. And I'm just a meathead lineman, but I have been in a whole lot of meetings and kind of know what I'm talking about. If this technique is a little bit better, maybe his athletic ability and his extreme talent will help him make that play rather than relying on it with his back turned and putting his hand up and things of that nature. That's all.
We can move on. I think the reason that his technique left him in that moment is because he was gassed. But we can just have our opinions on that.
Well, what about the other 13 catches?
That wasn't him.
Okay.
It wasn't.
He wasn't. The 97-yard one was Omarion Cooper.
I think he gave up 3 or 4 to him.
And then the 67-yard one, I don't think was Travis either.
No.
Okay.
Anyways.
I'm not saying it was, guys. I agree with you twice.
My next wish kind of goes, I guess it doesn't, kind of goes the opposite of that. I want to find the quote-unquote playoff rotation. We've talked about this a little bit.
Yep.
There has been a lot of shuffling, and I think it's okay. I refer to it as the playoff rotation because it's what happens in basketball, right? You have your team, you've got 15 guys or whatever. In the regular season, you're cycling through those guys. You're cycling through different mixes and matches to find out who is going to be your guys when the big games happen. We've seen tons of different guys at linebacker. We've seen tons of different guys at safety. We've seen different guys rotating in at corner. We've even seen guys rotating on the offensive line and at running back, which you're always going to have a decent running back rotation. And I guess wide receiver too. So almost every position has seen a lot of rotation, pass rusher as well. And you have to do that because this team brought in 75 new players, brand new players. You got to see what guys can do on the field in games, and you want to get guys in there and see what they do with fresh legs. I would like to see the rotation cut down a bit. It's a kind of an old school way of thinking. I remember, I'm going to go another cross sports reference here, but I remember my grandpa always telling me about baseball. Like the starting lineup should just be on a stamp. You don't even have to write it in every day. You just stamp the starting lineup down. And those guys know when they wake up, they're going to be the starting third baseman, starting center fielder, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, you have to earn it in week in, week out in practice. And so, you can't just make everyone feel safe. But I want these guys to put their foot down in their position and say, this is my position. I am the starter here. And no one is rotating in for me because I'm the guy. Mm-hmm. And the more guys that do that, the better this team will be because it's chemistry. It's understanding what the guy next to you does. We saw a lot of Shiloh and Trevor together at the beginning of the season. I thought they started to build a lot of chemistry. Then obviously the injury to Shiloh happens, the injury to Trevor happens, and you have start have breakdowns in that area of the field. That goes for everywhere. When you know who the guy next to you is going to be and you know what they do and what they do well,
helps so much, bro.
It makes a big, big difference. So it's a little bit coaching, but it's also on the players of just saying, hey, no one's coming for my spot. Yep. This is my spot. I'm taking it for the rest of these games. And if they're able to establish that, this team will have some upsets.
I agree with you 100% on this, Ryan. 100%. I don't know if it really is the reason that they lost the game the other night just because they're playing more guys. I'm not going to buy into that. A lot of things happened the other night that we're not going to dive into, but I will say that when you have the ability to just say, no, I'm going to roll with these 15 to 18 guys on defense, and the 6 or 7 reserves are going to rotate in when we need them to, but our 11 are our 11.
Yep.
It's I'm not coming off the field.
Exactly.
You're not. You can try and rotate me in, but I'm going to go back on the sideline. I'm not coming off the field unless I'm being removed.
Yep.
And especially on defense, who other than Shiloh and I guess Travis, other than Shiloh and Travis, exclude those two, out of the other 9, name one guy that we can actually rely on to be there all the time. He started every game. He's played every rep. One of those concrete, foundation guys. Do we... Off the top of your head, can you just name one?
I would say Omarion Cooper has been that. Obviously, he slipped on the 97.
Got benched.
Yep.
Yeah. So that I agree. He kicks ass. I love that kid. But
we gave him our defensive player of the year so far yesterday for the midseason
I
awards.
thought that's one of the reasons against Stanford. I was so mad, yelling at the TV. I understand he made a mistake, but tons of people made mistakes. Why is he getting benched and other people aren't? That's a question.
Yeah. So, just from my perspective in the game, on the drive before, so the first touchdown they gave up, I don't know what he did, but I did see him getting an earful on the sideline.
Yes.
So I'm guessing what happened is he did something. Coaches didn't like it. They said, hey, don't do that shit. And then he went out there and did it again, and they said, all right, get off the field.
Okay, that's fair.
Is that 2 for you?
That is my second wish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we've all done 2, but you.
No, I've done 2.
You've done 2?
You want to hit a read first?
Yeah, we can do that.
We're about what?
We're
35 minutes in.
Yes. All right. Shout out to our friends over at Game Time again. Everything's sold out. All these games are sold out, man. If you want to get in the doors and see Coach Prime and the Buffs in person, you got to go to Game Time. UCLA is taking off tarps. We've got homecoming coming up. All kinds of good events coming on for Coach Prime's Buffs. Not just that, though. Any game, concert, event that you want to go to, Game Time has you covered. Download the Game Time app, create an account. Use the promo code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code BUFFS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. And then shout out to Saturday Neon. How's the spirit of the Buffs? We haven't checked in on it in a while.
It's right here. It's great.
Strong, man. Love to see it.
You can only see the top, but there we go.
It's a company started by 2 friends and former college roommates at CU. They make officially licensed collegiate logo LED neon signs. Based out of Denver. They're backed by a 2-year warranty. Everything is shipped that you need to mount, power, and dim every single sign. They're easy to install and operate. They got CU. They got 19 other select schools. Go to SaturdayNeon.com. Use code DNVR for 10% off your order today. And you get free shipping on orders over $200.
Do they custom? Do you think they could do a badass 6-0 Savage one?
Oh,
we have a custom DNVR bar one down in the
They
bar.
could just do a sick not this logo, but the one with the Viking horns and the white vampire.
As big as you want it.
That, Yep. Dude, we got to talk. Hey,
Saturday
I'm
Neon.
talking to you, so
Hey,
Two
man,
Buffs.
we're gonna talk.
they show up in the chat from time to time too. So.
Yeah, so if you're watching, big guy's gonna call you after this.
All right.
A lot of people in the chat brought up. Do you still have one more?
No.
Okay. A lot of people in the chat have brought up Cam Sillman Craig as being one of those guys that you can count on, and I would actually agree. The only thing that he didn't fit in what you said, which is a guy who started every snap, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, I mean, you know what I'm not saying you have to play every rep, but like being a guy that we don't need to question whether or not he's going to be able to do the job on third, fourth down, things of that nature.
Yeah, what's surprising to me is that I truly believe Cam has been one of the more consistent players on the field, and his snaps don't exactly reflect that.
All right, third round wishes. Let's make it quicker. Go ahead.
Third round wishes. I am going to wish for 2 wins. Sorry for making
Plain
it
and
so simple.
I'm going to piggyback and wish for 3
Okay.
because that's what I was going to say too. Just please, God, get us to a bowl game.
Yeah.
I don't care where it is either. I'm going. I don't care what bowl game it is. Just get us to one, please, God.
Yeah,
please,
I don't-
please, God.
Exactly.
And then win. And why do we want them to win? Obviously, we want to win a bowl game, but why do we want CU to win a bowl game, Ryan?
Because they haven't won one
Jake?
since Matt McChesney was in that
God.
uniform.
Ugh. Since I was a senior, we haven't won a bowl game, and I'm 40 going on 42 in November.
Did
I
you
know I
know
look
that
good,
there
but
is a
shit.
Power 5 football team that has not won a bowl game in my lifetime?
Is it 2?
I'll
Who
give
is
you
it?
guys 3 guesses each. I don't think you'll get it.
Is that all the info we get?
I can
Kansas?
give you like hot or cold.
Is it Kansas?
Power
No.
5?
No, Kansas won. They
Georgia
won the
Tech?
Orange Bowl.
Nope,
No, it's not Georgia Tech.
that was cold. Matt's was a little warmer.
Duke?
Nope, cold. You're still cold. You're in the wrong part of the
Missouri?
country. You're getting closer to the right part of the country. You get 1 more each.
Oh, man.
I don't like this game.
I don't know.
I'll give you one
Illinois?
clue. Basketball school.
Kentucky.
That's a basketball school.
No.
No.
Indiana?
Got it.
Indiana.
Indiana has not won a bowl game since 1991.
Oh
Wow.
my God! All right, well, they're
Before
also
I was
have
born.
0.
Yeah, that's what I said. It never happened in my lifetime.
It's also not a
crazy.
football school, so. But that sucks. That sucks for the Hoosiers.
Was that your
Sure
second wish? Did you give your second wish for 3
Yeah,
wins?
I just want 3 wins. I don't care. Well, I do
That's
care
your third wish.
who we beat, but my third wish is 3 more wins.
Okay.
Or
I mean,
I'll take 2. I just please get to a bowl game and then win the bowl game. There's 3 wins. Whatever. Just win 3 games.
You
There you
guys
go.
used both your last wishes on that. I feel like I don't have to. So I'm just going to say my third wish is an established role for Dylan Edwards. Get him back to that TCU form. Get him his touches in space. Allow him to use his speed. Have a defined role for this guy. Don't just like throw him back there and run him up the middle or, run a screen for him. Use him in motion. Like put him in the slot. Like do something.
You think he could punt return? Right.
Yeah.
Come on. Something.
I mean, I'd love
Jimmy
to
Horn's
put him in
been
punt return.
pretty good at that
He's-
position.
Jimmy's been awesome.
well, they put
Weaver's
Zay back
been
there
awesome.
too. Like he's on kickoff. They kick it over his head all the time, so
know.
he doesn't get an opportunity there.
We
mean,
gotta. Can we just?
Why can't
Get
they
rid
just
of the
take
kickoff.
every? No, take
No.
every one of them. Just
Take-
every kickoff. Just take it. Take it. Just,
That is-
I don't care if you're 8
I
yards
couldn't
deep.
disagree
Return
with
it.
anything more.
Every kickoff should be returned.
The thing is, like, even when you have a good return, half the time it gets called back for a holding, and you're
Yeah,
on
I
your
know.
10-yard line.
But so
They're
you
fun,
could
man.
score too.
I think they're fun too. I don't think we've seen a kick return at Folsom Field this year.
And honestly, we can't kick the ball off, so we might as well have a little bit of excitement when we return the ball.
Can you guess how many kick returns we have this year?
5,
The Buffs.
The Buffs, as a team, how many legitimate kick returns?
3,
I was gonna say 2.
It's 4.
right in the middle.
81 yards for Dylan Edwards on 4 attempts.
But we
20.3.
punt return like a
average.
son of a bitch. We're good at that.
Yeah.
At least I think we are.
Well,
As for what you said, though,
Kinda.
Jake, I keep having a daydream about Dylan Edwards running a wheel route and catching a touchdown.
would be
something
fantastic.
like
Here's the
that.
thing, that's like one of the slowest developing routes. So you have to protect for like 3 seconds if you're going to be able to throw a wheel route to Dylan.
That's true.
I mean, if you can get him running straight against a linebacker, he's going to score a touchdown.
And look, to piggyback off of that, the wheel route I love because he's a matchup nightmare. Nobody's covering him.
Nope.
Nobody. So if we need to, expand protection here, I'm pretty sure Savion will be back for the UCLA game.
Ooh,
Okay,
let's go.
That'd be
so
huge.
he as the right tackle coming back.
High ankle sprain? Was that?
I have to think that knowing 78 and talk to him that he'll be back for UCLA. Not to like break news or anything. I don't know, but I'd have to think that he will.
You
be.
broke conference realignment news like
I
2
didn't even
weeks
mean
ago.
to do that
I was
either.
just kidding.
Like Washington State called me all angry, like you need to
Did
take
they
it
really?
down. Oh yeah, they got super pissed off. The coach is like, "You got to take it." I'm like, "Who the fuck is this? Take what down?" Like he's
You're like, "It's not even
"Take
my
it down
show.
off
I can't take that
DNVRs."
down.
And I'm like, I don't run DNVR. Who is
Oh
this
my
again?
God, that's
like you're telling,
hilarious.
is this another grown man calling me right now?
get
Prank
a call.
caller, click.
You're going to get called out this one, too.
Call me again, dog. I'll hang up on your ass again. I don't care. When we come to Pullman, you can yell at me then. But look, I think Savion will be back. And then, okay, so big number 70. I can't remember dude's name, but he is a
Reggie
Young.
large human.
Yeah.
He is a massive
Maybe he's your
human.
3 technique.
Okay, well, if he can rush the passer, move his big ass to 3 technique, and let's go. Usually it doesn't go that way, though. Although Reese Atterbury moved from O-line to D-line for Michigan, and he's playing, and I don't get it. But move him to guard. See if we can get a little bit more size and thickness at the interior positions with tackles and move him to guard. And, to see, I really like the center play. I think Van's a really good player. So I don't think you really need to move off of him. I think he's pretty awesome, and I'd like to see him just get more reps and keep developing. Next year, I think he's maybe one of the best centers in the country, honestly. But the 2 guards, whether it's Bailey or Beebe or whoever is going out there to play guard, the guard has got to be your just absolute ass kicker. He's got to be the guy that sets the tone in the run game, a road grader. We've got to find somebody that can go play with attitude and intensity there and allow Shedeur to step up in the pocket. Every quarterback is used to side pressure. That's why they're told to step up in the pocket and deliver the football. Our problem is face pressure. We get eviscerated in the A-gaps. We don't know how to slide protect with the center coming back to a 3 technique. I think that, and I know OB's teaching it. I know for a fact he is. So the players have got to do a better job of doing what the coach asks them to do. And look, when you have a bad loss like they did, and you have a bye week after, I can only go off my own personal experience, but I don't know if you remember this, RK, but in 2003, we lost at Baylor, and it was like Baylor's first conference win in like 3 years, and it was super embarrassing. It embarrasses me to talk about it. I played like absolute garbage. Everyone played terrible. Like I wanted to cut myself, and that kept us out of a bowl game. We finished 5-7, and it was so embarrassing. And the next week was literally hell on earth.
Week?
Oh, it was terrible. And we had double practices and full pads every day. And like Coach Wilson walking around like, hey, how you motherfuckers, we gonna figure out if any of you sons of bitches actually won't be here. I don't think any of you motherfuckers can play. You gonna be a doorman. You're a doorman. You're a doorman. You're too dumb to be a fucking doorman. All of you run over, give me 3 blades of grass and run back. And it was like that for 2 fucking weeks straight. And we had people like going in ambulances off the field. They almost killed Vince Mitchell. Like, I don't know if you know what colicking is. Like my mother and my family owns a massive horse ranch in Boulder, Triple Creek Ranch, the best. And horses colic, like their intestines turn and it's not good.
Oh, no.
And they ran us so much that Vince Mitchell colicked.
Jeez.
And like he almost died on the field. And we were like, hey, Vince, are you okay? And Doc was like, hell, son, move the drill. And we were like, move the drill?
Oh, my
like
God.
The ambulance is pulling up and like, they didn't care. So I'm not saying that's what happened in Boulder this week, but I will say this. You can really get the attention of your football team in a bye week after this kind of loss.
Yeah. Did that make you guys better?
You know, it really did, because we had Oklahoma come in the next week. They were ranked number 1 in the country. We played them we was 27-20 with a minute left. Clayton took a screen pass to the house. They beat us 34-20, but we went toe-to-toe with the number 1 team in the country, played really well. And then we finished the year strong. We beat a ranked Missouri team, and we tried to go out there and put ourselves in a position with 2 to play to go to a bowl game, and we were up on Nebraska 22-21 the last game of the season, and we kind of screwed it up, and they ended up beating us, and we went 5-7. But it did set the tone for the next year too.
Yep.
Because that 2004 year was the entire catalyst for the offseason was, okay, this bullshit is not going to happen again. We can't be this good and then go out and lay eggs like this. And that's got to be the message in Boulder, right?
Yes.
Like, we are so good, we can't go out and operate like this.
Yeah. That one is one of those ones that will stick with them for a long time.
Forever. You'll never forget it. It's like Oregon State in 18.
As you just displayed. They will never forget it.
Like, no. I remember the damn Baylor game more than I remember wins.
But that being said, it sticks with you a little bit more because you didn't make a bowl game. And
Absolutely.
if they can figure it out and find 2 wins
They'll
out
get
there,
over it.
They will get over it.
That'll be a learning experience instead of a losing experience.
Yep.
Shout out to our friends at Snarf's. Quality. They only buy the best ingredients. It's John Denera approved. Go pick up their house Jardinera peppers at any location.
So
It's a
proud.
damn good sandwich, though, guys.
The Snarfs is so good, bro.
Perfect bread, cheese, meat ratios, great ingredients. They've been doing it since 1996, so you know they have the passion for it. Also, check out Snarf Burgers. They got 3 locations in Denver and Boulder. Grab yourself a sandwich today and support Snarf's gift a meal program on the Snarf's app. Then also shout out to DraftKings Sportsbook. What are we betting on this week? Are we betting against the Broncos?
If you want to make money.
I haven't thought about what I'm betting on. Give me Avs -1.5 tonight.
There you go. Who are they
Like
playing?
it. I like it.
Blackhawks, Connor Bedard, home opener. Avs are 3-0, best team in hockey. They're going to win the cup again this year.
Let's go.
Okay.
That's true.
There you go. Actually, that's your bet. Go
That
bet on the
is
Avs
also
to
true.
win the Stanley Cup.
Get in on the game day greatness. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code DNVR. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets when you bet 5 on the NFL this weekend. That's code DNVR only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours.
I love DraftKings.
I do too.
It hasn't loved me back recently.
Yeah, gambling
Yeah.
kicks ass.
If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER
really
or
fun.
visit
It is awesome.
www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. Licensee partner Golden Nugget. Lake Charles in Louisiana. 21 plus. Age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility, deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources.
Man, now that is damn,
a
Jake.
mouthful.
You spit fire, son.
Okay.
Spit hot fire.
So I just have to address this because it's in the comments.
Address it. Did I call him Deion Sanders again? And
No.
everyone
No,
got
you're
angry?
fine.
No, you're fine.
His mama call him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
I don't know what that's a reference to.
You don't know? In the chat, if you can figure that out, you can come do push-ups for free at the gym.
Okay. Anyways, a lot of people are talking about like, okay, you guys were getting literally run into the ground that bye week. Are you sure that was the bye week or was that the week after you got back? Like, were you guys not allowed to go home? I'm just
You mean take a break after you lose to Baylor on the road? Man.
The team is home right now. They're
well,
back in their homes.
I'm glad everybody got a break and got to go home. That's the new college football. This is new stuff, okay?
Okay.
Nah, man, there's no breaks. I think we got maybe 2 days off, and Barnett was like, so everybody that had plans, fuck
Cancel.
your plans. You just lost to Baylor. You better full pads Tuesday morning, be on the field. And we were like, holy God, this is going to be awful. And it was. It was terrible. It was absolutely god-awful.
For what it's worth, I have seen Coming to America.
There
Not
you go.
recently enough to understand that reference.
Mama call him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay.
Anyways.
I'm not saying it helped. I'm not saying it was the right thing to do.
No. I was
But
just curious.
You know, it definitely definitely sucked. It made me not want to lose to Baylor again. I'll tell you that shit.
Yeah. I was just curious because I know, like,
No, football's different. Everything's different. They're not doing 2-a-days in the middle of the season and like full pad death marches and like.
You'll appreciate this.
Bro, we were doing Oklahoma drill and like bull in the ring and stuff.
You'll appreciate this. Travis Hunter did not leave. He stayed here. He said, I already had a break. I don't want any more breaks.
And this is exactly why I said what I said earlier, that I guarantee you he's more upset than everybody combined in the whole world. And he bawled He absolutely balled out. I mean, it's insane. I can't believe what he did the other night. But obviously, he's not very impressed. He didn't even go on vacay. Name a college kid that's not going home to eat mama's cooking and like sleep in their own bed for 3 days. Shit. Travis Hunter's motivated, dog. He's in a draft suit right now, drop stepping, rolling hips, and looking for the ball that ain't even there.
Love it.
All right. Yesterday, our guy, Adam Munster Tiger, spoke to the best AD in the country, Rick George. And Rick George revealed Folsom's getting an upgrade. Sometime in the next 3 to 5 years, we can expect West Side renovations at Folsom Field, including the Bach Field House.
Shit, yes.
Balch Field House, and the press box. It's all going down.
Good. Tara, can I, Rick?
Alyssa rejoices.
Yes.
He mentioned the bathrooms too. By the way,
They're terrible.
The bathrooms in the press box?
I'll find the quote.
Bathrooms on the whole west side, everything over there is awful. It took me 9 hours to get a hot dog the other day. Look,
I'm just gonna say this, and then I'll let you go.
I hate that place.
I am in the minority here.
You would like
I
it.
wouldn't care if nothing ever changed about Folsom for the rest of my life. It's perfect. You can't beat perfection.
It is
needs
perfect,
it.
but they need to.
It needs it.
Now you can't tell me you don't like
the.
the Champion Center and the new addition.
It's great.
Yeah, but
I'll
the
end
field
up
was
loving
awesome
whatever they do.
But the
I'm
new
just saying-
additions are incredible.
Exactly, and whatever they do,
We
it's
need
gonna
new
look
scoreboards, right?
It's gonna look beautiful. No.
Yes.
No, we don't.
Look at Ryan.
Everything's
perfect just the way it is.
West Side is
You
from
have
the
to. I
TV
understand.
broadcast
You just have
side.
to. You have to upgrade stuff over time. Like maybe even from like a safety reason,
Yes.
you might have to
man.
upgrade Balch Field House. Like
101 was shaking.
you ever go on that really old roller coaster at Elitch's?
Nope.
It feels all rickety, like something bad is gonna happen.
Nope.
That's what I feel like when I go into Balch. So I
I'll
get it.
watch.
But I never think about like I never go to Folsom and think like they need to upgrade this. And if they get rid of the troughs, I'm gonna be pissed.
All right, look, it is the most incredible stadium in history, in my opinion. I love the Folsom Prison. I love it. You can, again, I'll say this. When I die, burn me, spread me there, and you can go hang out with me every Saturday, okay? But the Balch Fieldhouse is a hellhole.
It is. It's so bad.
I hate it
But
more
I love
than
it.
anything. It's where we did all of our Dirty Dozens. And I don't know if they do Dirty Dozens, but we used to do Dirty Dozens. And winter conditioning Dirty Dozens were 5 a.m. in the goddamn fucking field house, and it was hell on earth. And you do like an hour of drill work with a team, and then you'd have to run perfect 12s for the Big 12s. And the coaches would stand either at 30 yards, 40 yards, or 50 yards, and every one of them would have a goddamn yellow flag, and everybody would line up in classes. Freshmen would go, sophomores, juniors, seniors. And if anybody loafed or didn't finish through the line, they'd throw the flag, and they'd be like, Marcus Houston! Obviously, it's fucking him. And we'd all have to go back and run it again. And I remember we ran 72 40-yard Big 12s my senior year, the 10th out of the 12 workouts. And we had guys literally running and throwing up on themselves, on the guy next to him. Every time I walk in that goddamn place, all I can smell is puke. And like I can see all my boys over in the corner like spasming and like cramping up, and Barnett's over there yelling at everybody, and Wilson's laughing his ass off and throwing flags at people and shit. And I will say this, for all the hell we went through, we were pretty fucking good, so maybe they should start doing that shit again.
Yeah, you definitely can't get away with that anymore.
Nope.
I will say this. I've never run faster in my life than when everyone else having to run again was on my ass.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
If they call your name and you have to go back, and look, I can honestly say, yeah, I never had my name called, thank God, but I definitely looked at people and said, hey, motherfucker, if I have to run another 40 for you, you're never going to walk again. And they'd be like, okay, Matt. And I'd be like, yeah, on the line, let's go. It worked, too. You can't do that anymore, though, in college football. You
I
gotta
have
be
to
nice.
say this to
Be
Louise's.
nice, Jake.
I try to be nice.
To Louise's comment, who
People
said
don't like it.
10 months ago, Rick George was worried about how to pay Coach Prime salary.
Don't like it?
Yeah,
Now
they don't.
Rick, are you done?
Sorry, Daddy.
Now Rick is talking about upgrading stadium. I don't think Rick was ever worried about paying Coach Prime salary. Like
Yeah, you shouldn't be worried. We're making money hand over foot.
It was everyone else that was worried about how Rick was going to pay Coach Prime salary.
So how much
Rick
of
knew that the money was coming with Coach Prime.
How much of an upgrade?
A big one.
Like,
They're going to make it open air. Like
I can
like
read the
other
quotes
side.
if you guys want.
Oh, sure. Yeah, well, hey.
He said,
Are you finished? Say how that just happened. Go.
No, see, you're still not finished.
See,
who's talking?
You.
He said it's necessary. It needs to be renovated. The qualities of the restrooms in that facility and the quality on the inside of Balkfield House isn't what it needs. Balkfield House isn't what it needs to be, and we're going to address it soon. We have a really good plan for the west side of the stadium. That's important for us. We think it allows us to get more engagements with students. Blah 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 blah.
They say blah blah blah. In the quote?
He also said
it's crazy.
they're going to look at the CU Event Center and see what needs to be done there. He said he'd like to tackle all those issues in the next 3 to 5 years.
Scoreboards.
I did not see a scoreboard
Please,
reference.
God, put new scoreboards on the stadium.
That's the one thing you don't want.
I don't. It's not that I don't want. It's
just
just
thinks
unnecessary.
everything's perfect.
You want something to block more of the view?
No, just double the scoreboard size on the south side of the stadium, I guess.
It's gonna block people from being able to see the mountains.
Oh, boo fucking who. At least we'll be able to see the play.
You can't watch it with your own eyes?
Not if I'm sitting on the right side of the stadium and it's on the left, Ryan.
We'll change your fucking seats.
Nick, be a better recruit so we get better tickets.
Wow.
Anything else on the Folsom renovation?
You guys are sitting in the good seats too.
Yeah, they are good. I'm just bitching.
Anything else on
Everything
these?
there pretty much kicks ass. He is correct.
No?
If everyone wants to complain about that scoreboard, I think they should just take it out entirely.
So
You
no
can look.
scoreboard?
There's a nice big one on the right side of the stadium.
That is true.
Look
on
at that one.
Okay, speakers then.
Speakers
Can
are a
we
problem.
get new speakers?
Somehow they upgraded those last year and nothing changed.
No way they upgraded
Like, they need to
those.
get a-
I don't believe you.
They need a refund or they need to hit up the
Something.
warranty.
They sound worse.
Yep. Oh, okay. I'm adding one thing to my wish list.
Yes? Oh, 4 wishes. He gets 4
He
wishes.
does.
I can complain
do
about
whatever you
this
want.
because it's the bye week. The hype video that they play before Ralphie is really sick, but because the speakers are so ass, you can't hear what's being said by the LV. So you're playing this like really cool hype video. The crowd's hyped. They're yelling. So because of that, also you can't hear. Just give Ralphie her own theme music, play the song, and run her out. We can't hear the hype video.
Yeah.
Actually, can I have 4 wishes?
Yep.
Okay.
Granted.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Rub my genie lamp real quick. It comes out. Another wish for you. Awesome. Here's my wish. I really, really hope that they start honoring the history of this university and singing the fight song correctly after the game, after they win. And I really hope that the community that they're trying to build in Boulder with the players who don't know anything about the university, I think a way for them to bring them all together, to have that community bond, is to figure out how to do the fight song correctly and bring everyone together. The fight song you hear in the stands is not the fight song we sing. It's the same lyrics. It is not the same get down. The build up to it is not the same. The finish is not the same. The players have had a long history of doing it a certain way, and it just I hope and wish that Coach Prime and the staff up there allows some of the older guys and old heads to come up there and teach them how to do this correctly, because it is the most hyped fucking moment of my entire life. When I was a freshman and we went up there as a group to sing the fight song, and everybody stood up and was like, shut the fuck up. This is not the way we do shit. Fight, see you, little boring ass fight song. And they all walked down, and it turned into a goddamn mosh pit and a melee and the fucking hoo-day, and we're jumping up and down like goddamn animals, and we sing that fucking fight song, and everybody looks like they want to run out and knock somebody's motherfucking head off. That's what it's about. So all I'm asking is that we honor what's been there for 100 years, because it really, 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 really does work. And everybody in that fucking room, when we get done, will understand why it's so important to all of us that keep clamoring for it.
Yeah, and I think you're going to get a lot of pushback on that. But
I don't give a shit. Push back, dog. You know where I'm at. Just like Coach Prime, I ain't hard to find.
The rest of my sentence was going to be, I know you don't care. All I will say is, like, listen, you can hear in Matt's voice how much that means.
It's important.
It's not like a petty...
I'm not up there trying to sing because I sound good.
No, yeah.
You feel me? Like, after you beat Nebraska, the fucking fight song should rattle the walls.
Yep.
It shouldn't be an afterthought. After you beat Colorado State in a huge comeback, it should rattle the goddamn concrete of Folsom. It shouldn't be not sung.
Balch might come down if it does that.
Well, good. Then we'll go there and sing it and knock
Save
that
some money on
sumbitch
demolition.
down. And look, again, I'm not. If my criticism somehow makes me the black sheep, then that sucks because there ain't no sheep in me.
Yeah. The fight song has been involved in everything. It's not like it's trying to be rekindled or something.
No, it just
it's always existed in CU culture.
I've asked multiple times and I get no response, and I've talked about this multiple times, and I think it's really important, and I think it would be something that would bring. It's the bye week when they get back. It would bring them together before they move into the next 5 weeks, which is a gauntlet, and they need to be together, shoulder to shoulder, fighting together to make this happen and go win 2 or 3 and get to a bowl game. So I think it's kind of important.
All right, you got a fourth.
Do I get a fourth wish? My fourth wish is that we move
Jake.
on to this final part of the segment,
you're gonna
and then
get
on
that.
to questions.
You're gonna get that
Your
wish.
wish is granted.
The
Jake.
final thing I have today, the Sporting News named Travis Hunter midseason All-American. That's with only playing, 3 1/4 game, basically.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Pretty damn good. Can only imagine what would be being said about him right now if he wasn't knocked out for 3 weeks.
Heisman.
Yep, you're right.
That's what it would be saying. I think he'll be the number 1 leading Heisman contender going into next year in the country. Him and 2. 1 and 2.
Yep. And just, it speaks obviously to his talent for having missed 3 games and being named to this list. So everyone who's saying, well, what about his performance against Stanford? He only played 3 games, can shove it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Myself included. Shove it, McChesney, you dick.
All right.
Why am I being booed?
You got booed?
I guess so.
They didn't like your wish, bro.
They thought your fourth wish was really weak, and you could have just gotten that if you asked for it.
Shout out to our friends at Backus and Schenker. If you get hurt, they are here to help. They've been helping Colorado families win for 25 plus years. They've won over $1 billion for their clients. No fees to speak with them about your case. No fees while they work on it. And no fees unless they win your case and win money for you. They got offices all over the city. Go check them out. You can smash that Shedeur line 222-2222 to speak with someone for a consultation today.
I love that number.
They'll help
and
you out.
Came up with it.
In any case where you've been hurt, car accidents, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrians, trucks, even if you're hurt at work, give them a call for free. Backus and Schenker wins.
Also, last thing on the fight song,
Okay.
and I really haven't made a big deal about this because I think there's more important things, but I think right now is a fair time to talk about it. I just want to say, CU's not the only one with a fight song that was made in the early 1900s that's still being sung. Michigan,
everybody has a
Ohio
fight song they
State.
sing.
Well, not everyone.
Notre Dame.
But a lot,
Who doesn't sing a fight song after they win?
you'd be surprised.
Name me a college team that doesn't sing their
Go
fight
ask
song.
a CSU fan to sing their fight song. I don't think they know the lyrics.
I'll get my CSU. I guess they're my buddies still. I'm not really sure. I like you. I can get them on the phone. They'll sing it on the phone. The Stalwart Ram. Fucking, they used to get all drunk and sing it when we were at the Jets and shit. That'd be like the ba 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 ba. That song. They got a song.
Well, I'm sure the players know. What I'm saying is
Oh,
a lot of
the fans.
I'm just saying a lot of schools, it's not really a part of their game day. They're not singing it in the stands the way that CU
Fair.
fans are.
My bad.
Michigan is singing it.
I did not understand what you were saying.
I think Nebraska, I don't know if theirs means much. Tennessee, right? Tennessee's a place where the fight song means a lot.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily unique. Anyways.
Look. Everybody sings it in Boulder, and they like it, and all the students get to yell "fuck 'em up, go CU." My 13 and 10-year-old get to yell "fuck" and laugh. They said "fuck," and it's all fun and games. But look, the importance I'm talking about is the embrace. It's not necessarily the song. I don't really care what they say. It's embracing the group that is up there trying to do it the way they think it's supposed to be done. And then the other 80 guys in the room that know how it's supposed to be done, embracing them and coming together and doing it together. That's what this is about. Mm-hmm. It's not about a song. It's about everyone coming together and understanding what it means to stand shoulder to shoulder. I know this is Prime's Colorado, but we are still the pride and tradition of the Colorado Buffaloes. Will never be entrusted to the Timber of the Week.
Yep. All right, Jake.
Questions. Also, I have another wish if I can.
Some likes?
5 wishes.
Some likes.
Yeah, we do need some likes.
Smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the podcast
a lot
on
of
Apple
people,
Podcasts or Spotify.
A lot of people jumped off the bandwagon in the last, 7 days.
Yeah.
And it's reflecting in the likes that we've had on these shows and
Of
the
course.
views.
Yep.
So help us out. If you're still riding with us, if you're a real one that goes through the ups and the downs, hit the like button.
We appreciate y'all. All right. 5280 Ivan. How are we feeling about Van Wells? Will he fight to retain his spot next year? Center QB relationship is pretty important.
I think so.
I
think he'll be a 4-year starter here.
Yeah, I think Van is an incredibly talented football player and will be an NFL 10-year vet.
Yep. And the game that he missed, his teammates really talked about how much they missed him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the CSU game, they took advantage of the freshman. Look, Zelinka's balled out in the fourth quarter and was one of the reasons they won, but they took advantage of him for 3 quarters.
Yeah.
The tackles need to be more consistent, but they need better guard play, I think, more than anything.
Yeah, I think the guard play has got to elevate big time. The guards get absolutely crushed every week.
Next question from Lonnie. Why haven't we seen Travis J? He came back for his first game versus Oregon and hasn't gotten a chance since. Same with Quez, but continues to let Carter to get his chance.
It's all based on practice, guys.
Well, it sounded like Travis was kind of not healthy again, basically, in yesterday's well-off, the way he was talking.
Okay. And that goes to what I'm saying. Like, how these guys look between Sunday and Friday is going to determine whether or not they play on Saturday.
Yep.
And I don't know if I've ever quite seen a coach stand on that ground as much as I see Coach Prime. Like, he...
You don't practice, you ain't playing.
Yeah, and even just like if you don't show me something in practice, I can't play you.
And I think that, piggybacking off what Ryan said earlier about finding the right guys, your playoff, your playoff roster, I think you're going to see that now after the bye week where they stop rotating so many guys in and they just roll with the guys that they think they can actually win with.
I agree.
I have no idea about Jaquez, though. I don't know. Next question. Our guy Sean, do y'all think that they can scheme up something on the D-line to help with the lack of a dog at 3 tech?
No.
Example, pre-snap shifts like Kirby and my boys.
Kirby at Georgia?
Georgia, yeah. He's
Come on, Doug. Okay. No. They're not scheming shit up at Georgia. That's Jalen Carter. I mean,
people like him.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then Jordan Davis and a bunch of other guys. They've got more first-rounders this year. Look, Uzo Deribe, if you know that name, is a Colorado Buffalo. He's the outside linebacker, pass rush coach at Georgia. And I talk to him constantly, and he's like, you got anybody? And I'm like, not that can play for you. Like, I got some dudes, but I don't have anybody that can play at Georgia, dog. So I just think I answered the question before Jake was even done. Like, is there anything we can do scheme-wise to get better play out of the 3 technique? As a guy who played 3 technique and played it pretty well there, in my opinion, no, this is a tough guy position. Can you play a double team? Can you beat the guard? Can you hold the B gap? Can you do that for 80 fucking snaps in a row the entire year? And if you can, then you're the 3 technique. And if you can't, then we'll find somebody else to play 3 technique. And right now we need to find somebody else to play 3 technique.
There you
go. Next, Lamar with the super chat said, Matt, you're spot on, big dog. Appreciate the super chat, Lamar.
More for you.
Thanks, brother.
Eric with the question, any chance of an expanded capacity at Folsom?
I don't want that.
You almost never see anyone expanding their capacity these days.
They'd have to add like a whole bowl, basically.
The one thing I would advocate for is taking, what was the section you sat in for the Nebraska game?
101.
Game? Taking 101 and wrapping that into the Dow Ward to make it more of a bowl.
That would be cool.
Because those seats back there in the corner are the only bad seats in Folsom.
Yep.
You can probably add a little bit of capacity if you want to go upwards from there.
They could add capacity by tearing down the west side and putting up an entire side like they did with the new addition in 03.
Yep.
Like you add, how many seats was that?
A lot, because they
lot.
put that whole club level
Yeah,
in
so
there.
like you put another matching tower and club level and all those seats on the west side.
Yeah.
And I know it cuts down on your view, but if you look,
No,
if
the
you-
west side won't change.
But
in
it
terms
could
of its height.
it could obscure maybe.
Yeah. Anyways, there's places where you could add. I doubt they'll do it. No one's doing it. I know this isn't a good example because they can't even have people in the stands when they're having the biggest win in program history. But CSU went from like 50,000 to 30,000 when they built their new stadium.
That's because no one gives a shit.
Exactly. But if you look around the country, I don't know the last time that a team has built a stadium and added seats.
I love when I walked in, Lindsey Spano was like, "How'd you think about that CSU win?" And I was like, "You guys won?"
Yeah. You know what?
Scoreboard, Babas.
Good win for them.
Great win.
It was really embarrassing that there was no one left in the stadium
Yeah,
when they won
man.
that game.
You beat Boise for the first time, and no one
They said it
cared.
was their 5th biggest crowd in program history, or in that stadium's history. So what that means is they had like 35,000 people at the beginning of the game and like 3 to 5 people at the end of the game.
It's unbelievable. And this is exactly why all the Buffalo fans and faithful, please just buy tickets and take over Canvas with us next year. It is going to be awesome. I can't wait.
It is.
Sorry, I was trying to
Texas
look up.
A&M apparently added seats to a new stadium.
God,
I
dude.
was trying to look up
You've been
Vandy's
there,
too.
right? Have you ever been to Kyle?
It's one of the weirdest places I've ever been in my life.
Bro, I'm telling you, I played there twice in college, and it was insane.
Yeah, it's insane, but also like it's insane.
No, it is. They are fucking weirdos,
Yes.
dude.
Yes,
Like,
dude.
super weird.
The only thing that's really come
Like,
close to
at
it,
one point, I saw everybody in the stands making out with each other. Like, the person next to them, the person next to them, the person next to them. And I was like, why the fuck? I looked at my boy Sam Wilder, and I was like, Sam, why the fuck is everybody kissing each other? And he's like, I don't know. This is weird shit they do at Aggieville. And I'm like,
Yeah.
good talk, Sam. Thanks.
the only thing I've ever been to that kind of compares to it is Kansas basketball, where it has this like cultic nature around
just
it.
a big makeout session?
But Texas A&M is even
I just,
weirder.
what's with the Friday night thing where they like line up in overalls and just do that? What is
that
dumb
shit. I don't know.
Why do they
It
do
was
that?
weird though.
Yeah,
There's
if
nothing
you
else
think,
better to do in West Texas than that.
yeah, it is weird. It is weird. But hey, they support that team. I'll give
Hey,
them that.
man. Trey Zoom's their left tackle. He's a good player.
All right.
Pride of Fossil Ridge, Fort Collins, baby.
There you go.
Cheyenne says, "Who do we want to lose more, UCLA or Stanford this week?" I don't even know who they
I
play.
don't
They
Honestly.
play each
care.
other.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I don't care.
I don't care. I want UCLA to win so they feel good.
There you go.
Yeah, have UCLA win so that when we
So
win
they
next
feel good.
weekend, looks better on
Because
the
that's going to
schedule.
be a Buff home game in
I'll be
LA.
honest with you guys. There's nothing that Stanford can do to make that loss look any less bad. They aren't good. They're going to keep
No, it's
losing.
UCLA is going to beat Stanford by 30 points.
I will say Stanford pretty much changed their entire identity in the second half of that game.
God,
so
it made me so
they might be
angry.
better moving forward. Spreading teams out, throwing to that guy, blitzing. They weren't doing any of that stuff in the first half.
Yeah.
Anger.
Jim with the super chat. Matt, if you were offered a job with Coach Prime, would you be interested? I know you have the degree. 2121 super chat.
You are
Thank
correct.
you, Jim.
I do have a degree in history. So what job?
I mean,
What do you want?
Well, I don't know. The O-line job, the D-line job, what job? The recruiting coordinator? Well, look, I'm not saying no. I'd love to work for my alma mater, but it has to make sense. I'm not in the business of walking away from shit I've built to.
Yeah.
But then again, with NIL and everything, the rules are probably different. So I don't know. That's a good question. I would absolutely love to work for my alma mater, but it is not something that I think about very much.
There you go.
I love supporting it the way I do. I love being able to go up there with the guys and put them in front of the coaches and be able to be a resource for Coach Prime and everybody when they need to recruit the state and they need information. They've sent me down so many guys to evaluate and then get back to them on my evaluation if they think they should bring them in. You know, things like that. When Coach Prime got hired, I was the first guy that he met with right afterwards just to talk about, locking down the state and make sure the right guys go there. That doesn't mean every guy in Colorado goes there. That means the right ones.
Yep.
And the coolest thing that I think I've seen up there this year is when we went to the SC game, I'm pretty sure, or maybe the CSU game, I looked at the recruit list. Last year, the guys I would send up there would be at the top of the list. 3-star kids in Colorado they're trying to get. Well, this year, everybody I send up there is at the bottom of the list. And I'm like, that's awesome because the top of the list is all 5- and 4-star kids from all around the country that usually wouldn't go to CU Boulder to see anything, let alone a football game. So the fact that all these elite players that we send up there are at the bottom of the list tells me the University of Colorado's back. And if you want to play there, you better be a bad motherfucker.
Love it.
Amen.
Anything else? No?
That's all I got.
Good job, guys. That's one hell of a bye-week show.
What can the chat expect tomorrow on this show?
Ooh.
Mystery bag.
Mystery Bag Friday. I love it.
I'm headed out, guys. I'll see you back on Tuesday when we
Jake
get back from the bye week.
Has
Where are you going, man?
a twerking
Going back
appointment.
home.
You're going to twerk?
No,
Yep.
Nice.
He's going
Oh.
to twerk
Going
on
to
the
shake that
streets
ass,
of
huh?
Salt Lake.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to Salt Lake.
He's going to twerk on the streets of Albuquerque.
There you go. Lamar with the last second super chat. What's the issue?
So wait, you're going home, but not where your parents live.
No.
So you're going to hang with friends.
Yeah, where I grew up.
Oh, so you're
Where I
going-
lived for
you're
20
going to
years.
party your ass off for 4 days.
He is absolutely twerking.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a little.
Definitely. How many texts have been like, what time do you land, bro?
I already have a tea time scheduled for
There you
tomorrow
go.
and everything.
There
So
it is. There to be careful. Golf carts come up quick.
that's what I heard.
They're fucking tricky. It came from the left, though, with all, like, let's be real, I couldn't see it, so I heard it.
Oh man, I'm sorry I laugh at that story
That's
every time
okay,
you
bro.
bring it
Shit
up.
happens.
Hit him straight and don't get too sore twerking.
I'll try my best.
You got to do a lot of hip exercises.
Yeah, make sure you stretch before you
Stretch.
twerk.
Oh well,
Stretching,
thank you
yes.
guys.
Or else you'll end up
Appreciate
like me throwing your back out playing pickleball.
Yeah, we'll see. You have me scared now after that story yesterday. Not gonna
You
lie.
Washed,
guys
bro.
are so old.
All right. See you guys next week. Ryan and someone will be back tomorrow.
Yep.
Let's go Buffs.
Go Buffs.